So it's not a case where I should only be pushing myself hard on the days where I'm looking like I'm well recovered according to HRV. Fighters, welcome back to another episode of Heatrick Muay Thai Performance. I'm familiar with HRV, and most of my experiences with Joel Jamieson's setup, that was Bioforce, but now it's Morpheus, it's called. And they all have different scoring methods and, you know, how you interpret the results and all the rest of it. So it is a case of the individual bit of kit and learning how that starts to make recommendations. I know with Joel Jamieson's stuff, it is a lot more specific to like combat sports and that sort of extra training load rather than more general health and fitness that you might get a bit, I guess, a bit more with Whoop. I'm not exactly familiar with how deep that goes, but you can very much get, I mean, one of the things that Joel Jamieson quite often says is that just because you score poor recovery on a day, it doesn't mean you can't have a hard training session. It just means the overall effect is probably going to be more stressful than it would have been if it had been on a day where you had high recovery. So it's not a case where I should only be pushing myself hard on the days where I'm looking like I'm well recovered according to HRV. It's you're just looking at what happens on that sort of rolling, well, I guess the whole block really. So looking at that typically 4 weeks or however long you're kind of spacing it out, you're just looking what's happening over that full 4 week cycle where we've got the deload as well. And then when I go back into the next block, am I actually in a position where it looks like I pretty much got my recovery back on track and I'm ready to hit that next block again? And it's not like give me loads of alarm bells that even, you know, after my deload and now I'm hitting that low week and it's already saying, whoa, back right off all the time. That's kind of a better way to manage it. It's like it's nice information to have, and you'll also get better at interpreting what the scores are compared to how you really felt. And it is very much go by your subjective feel too. It's not like purely go by the numbers or purely go by how you feel. Just have a little look at the two, but also be prepared to challenge when it's saying, I'm not well recovered, therefore I perhaps shouldn't do too much. That actually sometimes that's okay to do it, as long as the net result is we've got, it might be like this week, we really push push everything this week because it is a high week and it's going to be telling us all week, whoa. But we know we've got a deload coming up, so that's fine. And as long as by the end of that deload, everything looks like it's come back into stasis levels again and we're not like way outside the outlying results that we'd normally get on a sort of level keel, then you're doing okay. So have a little experiment with that. It is that difference between having your eye too closely fixed on the little picture right now and not being able to sort of zoom out to the bigger picture of the overall training stress that we've got managing. And you could literally like hour by hour be like, oh no, now's a good hour to do something compared to that hour. Do you know what I mean? And it's actually, yeah, you're probably being a little bit too anal with it there. You could just zoom out a little bit more and be like, actually, this hour is okay to push because the rest of the hours in the day, I know I've got less coming up. And you can zoom out and think of that days, weeks, months even, and apply that to interpreting the results you're getting rather than I'm being overreactive to a traffic light in this instant moment that actually is just at this moment and doesn't take into account everything that's coming up or everything really that's come ahead of it necessarily too much either. So, yeah, just temper that. Just really get a good feel for a trend over time with how you feel compared to those traffic lights that you get. And yeah, don't be worried about overreacting to it. If you're getting like day after day after day after day of it's gone red, and especially if you've been pushing training hard, or you're even like I'm in medium week, I'm not even in high week yet. You're like, ooh, I know I'm going even harder next week. Something's wrong. I'm doing something wrong. Either it is my training schedule that I've got this all wrong. And I probably know I've stepped this up and not backed this off. Or it could be just like, yep, I've got ill. I've not been sleeping well, all these kind of things. And that's now showing up in my scores. And I'm seeing that perhaps this high week I've got coming up, I'll temper that a little bit and bring that back down a little bit, or even just go, I'm going to have a deload before I then try and go into a high week and see what happens then, see if that resets, flushes the system as such.
Thanks for listening. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with someone else it could help too. Please give the podcast a review or comment below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, you can visit Heatrick.com for more Muay Thai performance podcasts, videos, articles, and guides. Catch you next time.